on today's show.
Cousins bullies the Rockets, the Nuggets pull IT from the rotation, and the Pistons suddenly can't score.
Kenyon Martin joins the show to talk about the best alley-oop passers, someone he'd like to dunk on, and KD to NY.
And Shaq suffers in a super spicy edition of the Meme Team.
It's Thursday, March 14th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey. I'm J.E. Skeets. Alongside me, as always, we got Tass Mellis, we've got the Aussie, Lee Ellis, and over yonder, that's the bearded one, that's Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
Hey, yo! Trey, what's up?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, the cameras are always watching in an NBA arena, and Andre Drummond found that out the hard way last night when he went to the bench early in the second half and was caught on the sideline gnawing on his beard. I can't judge, though. I bite my beard all the time. It's a great way to keep your whiskers trim. And this brings us to today's question. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen caught on an NBA sideline? For instance, how about the time AJ Price just kept continually fake licking Tyler Hansbrough's face? Almost no reaction from Hansbrough, as if this happens all the time. But we want to hear from you. So let us know on Twitter. What's the weirdest thing you've seen caught on the sideline? Send us your best tweets to hashtag the starters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, get your tweets in on tonight's show. 15-year NBA vet Kenyon Martin is going to join us live in studio. We got a brand new edition of the Meme Team. We got Lely's very solid play. But we start with a little true or false, looking back at some of the action and some of the big storylines from last night in the NBA. Trey.
No Kevin Durant, no problem for the Warriors, who got 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists from DeMarcus Cousins as Golden State avoided a season sweep by the Rockets. It was a season high in points and assists for Boogie, and he wasn't really targeted on defense in his best game of the year, guys. True or false? DeMarcus Cousins is back!
Cousins was awesome last night, but you're not going to see that same DeMarcus Cousins we saw in Sacramento or New Orleans with Golden State. He's got to blend in a little bit more. They're not just going to give him the ball and tell him to overpower guys. That's just not what he's going to do. They're going to give him the ball in the post, and he's going to pass from that post. And he did that so well last night, and he's blended in so well because he does that. Guys running off of him. He had more assists in the first half than he had shot attempts. 6 assists versus 5.
Nice passes,
and then he went to work in the second half because he is that great. Is he back? I think he looks really, really good. But they're still experimenting. Draymond Green might go to the bench when DeMarcus Cousins is out there just to split their minutes a little bit so they're not clogging up the lane as much. He can get better, but I think he's blended in perfectly. I don't think the numbers are going to get all that much better. 20 games he's played. He's 16-8. 3.5 assists, a block and a half. I think those are the numbers you're going to see, but I think you can just get a little bit sharper with their offense.
The biggest reason, though, for last night was no Kevin Durant. So he got a few more touches early on, and they involved him in the offense because they needed him to produce. Now, we've seen him in Sacramento and New Orleans. He can pass well from the high post. He's great at that. And then you can see his confidence coming back, hitting a few of those shots, a little bit more engaged defensively. And when he had Clint Capella on him, he just knows he could just bully him and score on him anytime he wanted.
It didn't matter who was on him.
No,
Tucker,
exactly. But
Capella, great defenders too.
I think the key is, though, that with Kevin Durant out there, Boogie is the fourth option on that offense. When he's not there, they asked him to do a little more, and he really responded well. So now Steve Kerr maybe has a decision to make at some point how he staggers that starting lineup, but maybe he brings DeMarcus off the bench just to see if he can have that same impact with a second unit, because I think when you've got 4 guys out there who all like the ball, someone's going to be missing out, and that sort of gets a guy out of rhythm a little bit. So I don't think he'll do it because he said he wanted DeMarcus in that starting lineup, but just seeing what we saw last night, maybe if DeMarcus is more involved and has a prominent role, he might get more production out of him.
Yeah, in terms of scoring the ball, rebounding, setting up guys, that was never going to be an issue with Cousins. We wondered, would he hurt them defensively? And were you surprised at all? The Rockets didn't seem to go at Cousins. I mean, Trey, you slipped it in there. They didn't go at him and put him in a pick-and-roll situation too many times in this game. Is that Mike D'Antoni and the Rockets sort of saving something, put in their back pocket to maybe use in a playoff series? I was a little shocked by that because that's where the questions come up. Is he, having come off the injury, explosive enough, fast enough, quick enough to sort of play some of these smaller guys, on the Rockets when you put them in a pick and roll? I don't know why they didn't really go with it.
Yeah, because as you're right, they have been trying to expose him, teams, in that situation. Right. But yeah, it is weird because they like to run that with Clint Capella going inside and using his athleticism because he's not a big, strong guy that DeMarcus can kind of overpower. So maybe it was D'Antoni playing a little bit of mind games here, saving something for the playoffs and not wanting to show his hand, because the Warriors got off to a good start as well last night. That's something they haven't been doing recently when they haven't been playing that well. But it would be unusual for a team to I mean, they didn't try to lose, of course,
No.
but they certainly, against a team like the Warriors, I think you always want to try to beat them and not give them the confidence, especially after the Rockets were 3-0 up in the series this season.
Yeah, they beat them all 3 times, and they just had a bad game, I think. You know, that third game, they did go at DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
They just weren't ready. Maybe Kevin Durant sitting had something to do with that. We picked the Warriors because they were coming off a Suns loss. They just had it in this game. I think that's what it was. The Rockets didn't look like themselves. They hung out on the three-point line even more so than usual.
Trey, our next one.
All right, after returning from hip surgery and playing just 9 games for the Nuggets, Denver's Isaiah Thomas didn't play in the Nuggets' last game, as coach Michael Malone has said that Thomas currently isn't a part of the team's shorter rotation as they head towards the playoffs. The Nuggets have been balling all season long, so guys, true or false, sitting IT, the right move?
It's true, sadly.
I think it's true, yeah. I'm with you on that. I would throw in the sadly as well. It sucks.
I don't think he brings something to them that they don't already have or that they don't have, that he's better than other guys, particularly Monte Morris. That's the sort of minutes that you would think he was going to take. But when Isaiah goes out there, statistically, they're not good. And he's not good, struggling to shoot the ball, struggling to do anything really. But he's coming off an injury. He hasn't played for a long time, so it's going to take a lot of time for him to get back. But I just feel that if you're Mike Malone, he's trying to get his guy going there, but the ultimate success of the team really depends on Isaiah not being out there. Now, he may get back to it at some point, but when you join a team this deep into the season, the team's playing really well, knows its identity, knows its roles, it's hard for him to go in there and have an impact. And you've seen when he's out there, the Nuggets offense is not good, and defensively they're not good.
It's unfortunate. It was really bad timing, I think, for Isaiah Thomas when he was with the Nuggets here, because when he was injured at the start of the season, that's when you could have used him, because the Nuggets had a bunch of guys at the guard position that were injured. You had Gary Harris out. You had Will Barton, who plays sort of a 2 and 3. I understand that, but there may have been some minutes there. But Isaiah was hurt, and he just came back. He's only played 9 games. And the other thing is, you said it, Monte Morris, he really stepped up. I mean, he's a second-year guard here, but he gives them 10 and 4. Gives him a defensive presence on that when he's out there in his 24, 25 minutes a game. Same with Malik Beasley. He's been great too. It's just there's too many guards. You got Jamal and Gary Harris starting. Then those 2 guys come in. You're not playing 12 guys in the playoffs. No. So, kudos to Malone for going to Isaiah Thomas, because he got the DMP CD, and then that could have become a big issue. Oh, he's not even playing. But he's talked to him, it's known, and they go on from here.
It's a good problem to have for Mike Malone, and I think he's handling it well. It's a young team. About 15 games before the postseason, they just want to get things right. They don't want to have any distractions towards the end of the season. Not that IT has been a distraction, but he's just trying to play himself into a rhythm. And it's hard for him because it's not focused around him like he's used to. And so that may come next year. He needs a camp to sort of just get things going. But it's tough. It's tough for him. Hopefully he can be a factor in the locker room, because that's what Mike Malone said before the season. That's where he probably was going to contribute the most. Just give us a little swagger, like what that young team needs.
Trey, our final one.
Just a couple of days ago, us 4 idiots went on TV and picked the Detroit Pistons as the most likely 6th seed in the Eastern Conference because of their supposed easy schedule. They rewarded our confidence by laying an egg against the Heat last night, as Detroit was outscored 21-0 to start the second half. They got us again, guys. True or false? You can never trust the Pistons.
I'll double up on that idiot call, though. I think they're still going to get the 6th seed.
You still think? Why do you say that? Because we talked about the Nets' tough schedule. They lost as well last night, so that helps.
Because they have a real tough schedule going on the road. The Nets play real tough teams. The Pistons, they still have some nice gimmies. The Cavs, the Suns, and the Knicks on the road.
The Suns are no gimme anymore. They've beaten everyone.
I just keep coming back to comments that Blake Griffin made about 10 days ago. And this is when the Pistons were rolling. They had won 9 of 11. They had moved up into the 6th seed. And Blake's asked about it. And, I think the people were asking him. He thought you would get a Blake excited and pumped. And he was like, we haven't done anything. Yeah. We basically were horrible for the first couple of months. So what? We're in the 6th or 7th seed. He wasn't impressed at all. It was refreshing to actually hear that. He thinks they should be better. He knows they can play better. He looks fatigued right now, Blake Griffin. I wonder if this season of carrying this team a little bit offensively has caught up to him. But these were 2 brutal games. They didn't just lose here. Yeah. They got hammered.
The first one was kind of a schedule loss. So the second game of a back-to-back after playing the Bulls, daytime, nighttime. I'm making excuses, but you can lose a game
they're
or
not
two.
Really, their identity to me is hard to figure out, because they're not that good offensively. They're not that good defensively. And that winning streak they went on recently they didn't really beat a whole lot of really
there
good
was
teams.
some quality wins.
Some, but not a lot.
The Raptors was in there.
Sure, but they own the Raptors.
I know. That's why I don't want to say anything about the Pistons, because they're very likely going to play the Raptors in a 2-7 first-round series. And you got Casey going against his old team, and they've taken both games.
But the Bulls and Knicks, a couple of those teams. It wasn't super impressive. And then I think a game like last night, when they get down, They were just trying to fire their way back into it, and they're not that good a three-point shooting team either. So they sort of didn't have too much left to, too many options to try.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, though, very excited for this 15-year vet. Kenyon Martin is in the
There he
house.
is. Oh, yeah.
Going to join us live in studio next. Don't go anywhere.
The Starters is presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey.
Welcome back to the show. NBA Twitter Live will be streaming live tonight from NBA on TNT's Twitter account to start the second half of Lakers-Raptors with Adam Lefkoe, Carlos Boozer, Omar Raja, and the man who joins us, 15-year vet, one-time All-Star, and all-around badass, Kenyon Martin. Thanks for joining us, Kenny. Appreciate it.
I'm good.
We're brainstorming some questions to ask you in the office, and we asked each other, which team do you remember Kenyon Martin most for, the Nuggets or the Nets? So we asked our fans, and in a poll, they went with the Nets. What team do you associate yourself with the most?
I get asked this question a lot.
Yeah.
What was my favorite team? And I have to split it up, like winning-wise, because we made the 2 finals and made an all-star team with the Nets like that, and they drafted me #1. So
Right.
and then all the other stuff happened after the fact, but they still hold a special spot, you know what I'm saying, for me. I grew up in Denver. I became a man in Denver, you know.
Right,
so,
right.
So I started a family in Denver, you know, so things like that. So Denver I was there for 7 years.
Yeah, you spent more years there. I was
I was
surprised
there,
by that.
7 years, man. So it's kind of split. It's definitely kind of split, man. But I had a great time in both. Built some great relationships on and off the floor. Great fans in both places, man. Great communities. So it's both places.
So that poll should have been 50-50.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we'll fix
It wasn't
that.
bad though. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But so I get the Nets thing, and I'm saying I stepped on the scene, and
Yeah, and the winning.
I'm saying we were winning, and me and J Kidd had something special. So I get it. I definitely get it.
You brought up J. Kidd. I'm glad you did. You played with a couple great point guards. There's no doubt. Kidd, Andre Miller. Between the two of them, or maybe there's someone else you throw in there, who is the better alley-oop passer to you? Because you were on.
They both
The end of
didn't
a lot of
care
great
about.
passes.
Yeah, they both didn't care about turning the ball over, man. So like, I think that makes a great point guard. I'm saying, like when you don't care about that part of it,
Right.
When you're willing to take chances because you believe in your guys.
The trust, yeah.
So when you can lead the league in assists and turnovers, J Kidd did it,
Yeah.
Dre did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for you to like be that kind of guy, like he don't care. Like look, just like there was times where a guy could be standing right in front of me and J Kidd just throw the ball up.
Right. Yeah.
Like he'll be on the other side of the floor and just throw it up and expect me to go get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he trusts me. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would say probably J Kidd, man, because he just like he really didn't care about like turning the ball over.
Well, he had that 1-2. I guess it was in the All-Star game. I mean, I know it's a different setting in an All-Star game, but he just like flung it like from the hip.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
Here it is.
Yeah, he just,
Lefty.
Oh my goodness.
nah, it's just man, he just his vision is amazing, man. And he just like, and we never talked about it. That's the thing.
Right.
Like it was never something that we before our first game of preseason game, whatever. Like we never had a conversation like, this is how we're gonna play.
Right.
This is what I need from you, or this is what I expect. It just happened. I'm saying we just went out and we had the same mentality, offensively and defensively, man. So it worked.
You dunked on a lot of guys throughout your career. Is there somebody, current player, that you could see yourself dunking on? You wouldn't mind throwing one down on?
Who the best shot blocker in the game? Is it Rudy?
Rudy would be up there.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Jared Allen's the
Miles
Furrow's
Turner.
been
I
doing
get
it.
Rudy, yeah, Rudy. I don't know about his time. You know what I'm saying? Some of them guys, they jump straight up and down. Like, I don't know if he has that Theo Ratliff kind of timing or the Dikembe Mutombo, but I figure it out. I definitely would figure it out.
You weren't afraid to try and dunk on it.
Oh, no, anybody, no, if you're up on it, like if you're out there, I'm saying you can get it. That's-
What did you have against the rim, though, man? You might be the hardest dunker in the entire history of the NBA. Throwing it down.
It's like you and Westbrook. I
Yeah,
feel
no
like.
doubt.
Yeah, the way.
just grew up like I'm old, man, in basketball terms. So I grew up like we played bitty basketball in Dallas. And they lowered the hoop when I was younger. When I was like 9, 10, like they lowered the hoop.
Right.
So I've been dunking like for a long time. So when you perfect dunking on the 8.5-foot rim, like it's, you know what I'm saying, like so just imagine as I got older, like me throwing the ball in at that age, like when I got older, I'm like, oh, this is. And then when you start dunking on people, man, you start attacking the rim a certain way.
They
People don't
wanna
jump.
block it, yeah.
I'm saying people don't jump. Like that was I told my son that. Like same constant. I'm saying once you get a reputation of throwing it down on people, people get out of the way.
Right, right. Yeah, they don't want to be on the
They don't-
poster.
Not at all, man. It's just me. Just my mentality and how I approach the game. I'm saying that's just the way I played, and it just came out in that aspect.
That's awesome.
Going back to those Nets years, was there a year that you think you should have won it from 02 and 03?
I think the second year we had a shot against the Spurs, even though they had Tim Duncan. They had a pretty good team. I think we really thought we had a shot. I had one of the worst shooting performances in NBA history in Game 6. I don't make no excuses. I was sick, but don't nobody know at the time. This is years later. I was 3 for 23 from the field. So that kind of, And then you look at Tim Duncan line that game. He almost had a quadruple double.
Yeah, he had that monster.
You know what I'm
You've
saying?
talked before about him being one of the toughest guys.
Yeah,
to go
no,
against.
he is. Because most guys I could frustrate. I could make you do what I want you to do. And Tim was one of those players where I couldn't get up under his skin.
Right,
I
couldn't rattle him.
No, not at all. No matter how many times I stripped him, blocked him, knocked him down, or no matter what I said to him at times, it didn't matter. I'm saying he just went about his business. I'm saying that's why he's a constant professional. That's why he's first ballot Hall of Famer and arguably the best power forward of all time.
Yeah.
We saw this clip of you online, so we wanted to ask you about it. You're in this tiny hotel room, not having a great time.
He was in New York.
Right.
And I was
small is this?
like I understand boutique hotels.
Yeah.
I get it. But this, was by far the smallest room I've ever been in.
The shoebox.
So you
Like,
said,
I could touch both walls. Like, seriously, like, if I had I could touch both walls in the room. Roll out of the bed, I'm on the toilet, and the shower's right there, so brush your teeth sitting in the bed. Like, so it was, I had to get out of there.
you got a new room or
I
new
left
hotel?
the hotel. I left the hotel. Like, I had to change hotels.
Wow.
And I'm claustrophobic, so that wasn't gonna work.
Oh, no.
And I was there for a few days as well. I had a few things to do. So me and my bags, I would have had to get another room for my bags. I would have had to get dressed in another room.
You're really calm in that video, though.
Yeah, no, 'cause it was amazing that I walked in, how small that room was.
You thought it was a joke, like a
Yeah,
prank or
like
something.
where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
Like they really put it was the bed, and that was it. Like they put the TV on the wall, it was a bed, and the bathroom, that was it.
It's
like,
New York.
Nothing else.
All right.
Like they forced it.
All right, appreciate your time, Kenny. We'll see you on NBA Twitter Live tonight. Meme Team, coming on up.
Time for a brand new edition of the Meme Team.
At number 5, we got lots of dancing. Who says these guys are miserable? Jiggle Jiggles?
Hey!
Not making the playoffs, that's cool. Russell? Oh, feeling it.
Bit looser jiggle here.
Yeah. Fired up he gets.
That's a great one. And then it's the Nets bench we saw earlier this week. Someone told me this is the 6ix9ine dance.
Sure.
That's what's happening out there.
Mastered it. At number 4, quick flashback to 2010. This Wade to LeBron play gave us this iconic photo, right? And then we had the two connecting for the final time in the All-Star game. This one actually a nuke. Basketball Forever did this unbelievable mashup, putting the two iconic photos together, and then people have just started recreating it. These kids giving the original take
Just as
on
iconic.
the Wade LeBron. D. Wade himself loved it, but my favorite, the right artist shared this masterpiece, yes, of Buzz and Woody from Toy Story recreating it.
To infinity and beyond.
Right.
At number 3, the Sixers' TJ McConnell puts his heart on the line every moment he is on the floor. Look at him go.
There he goes.
Sorry?
This is the new Shooting Stars
Right, yeah.
sort of thing. Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Slip and
Slip and
slide.
slide.
Tis the season.
Superman. TJ, great celebration. At number 2, it's fun having Joakim Noah back in our life, especially when he hits a jumper and then busts out the finger guns and puts them in the holster. He did it a
A
couple
wild
times.
one last night.
Some people, maybe they haven't seen Joakim Noah in a while. They thought he looks like a homeless Aquaman. I mean, that's a little rough. Easy now. But then here in Atlanta the other night, at the free throw line, making a little kissy face. We believed Alex Len. They were beefing a little bit, but Jasmine saying, this drink is from the guy right over there. And then, that's me. Yeah, what's up?
At number 1, Shaquille O'Neal joined Hot Ones, and his taste buds weren't his buds for very long.
This one's a little spicier. This one's a little spicy. Without spicy, it's not bad. I'm not gonna make a face though. Oh! Oh! Guess what got me? God!
How you doing, Shaq? All right?
You got some ice cube chapstick? My lips are hot.
Do we have ice cube chapstick? Going in with the ice.
Welcome to Shaq's edition of Snotty Nose Wings. I feel like Snotty Pippin up here eating this, man.
You gotta go watch that whole thing. Unbelievable work there. Love Hot Ones. All right, when we come back, Lely hits us with a very solid play. I love that music. I just love that music.
I love music.
Tonight on TNT, Lakers, Raptors. The Raptors are always on TNT now. I love this. Followed by the Mavs and the Nuggets. All right, we asked you what's the weirdest thing caught on the sidelines. You hit us up, hashtag the starters. Trey, you got some answers.
Yeah, some good answers. Jared says Coach Rivers and the Clippers coaching the team wearing Hawaii shirts. Definitely forgot about this. Also love this answer from Tanish, who says Dario Saric covered in towels, but the best answer comes from Zach, who shows us the Alonzo Mourning thinking about things. Classic meme right there.
Okay, good answers, guys. Last night's pick'em results. Tass and I had the Warriors. I finally got a win. I'm chasing all three of you guys there. You see our records at the bottom of the screen. Tonight's game, Thunder Pacers. Oh, it's me and Trey taking the Pacers at home. Lee and Tass like the Thunder on the road. That was on League Pass. VSP, Lely.
Yeah, this one came from the Utah Jazz last night. They said they had a lot of very solid plays, so I went through the archives and I found this beauty, almost the perfect netball play, still a 5-manner, ends with a 3-point swish bomb. That's what I call a very solid play.
Very solid indeed. Also solid, tomorrow, it's Friday. Yeah, gotta like that. We'll have a new drop podcast for you as soon as we can get it up. Make sure you subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, and then you'll know when it goes live. I think we got time for a fan sign.
Yeah, this is Eric. He came from Tokyo to Phoenix to see his son's game with his friend Lewis. He tried to do my legendary dance move, the bomb cyclone, or as we call it in Japan, the bomb typhoon. I got it eventually.
There it is. All right, guys. See you tomorrow with the Drop Podcast and here tomorrow night. Brace the night, people.